He came closer and whispers in her ear. I hope you saved before this choice. Should I have saved? Okay, right. We're back with STARCULT. So, I've had a little conversation with chat. They were very curious about the Ascension. So, last time we went back and read the letter, but when we were looking at the emotions, it mentioned Balthazar when we were using the emotions to select a choice. So, what we're going to do on this one, we're going to go back, we're going to replay through all of it. We're going to go see Balthazar in the cellar first, and then we're going to read about the Ascension and see how Hans reacts to that in the evening. So, without further ado, let's get back into the game. Oh wait, I can load. I am smart. Okay, we're going to go and find Balthazar. Hans will be fine left alone with his thoughts. He's used to it after all. But as for that prisoner, who knows how long he'll stay alive if he keeps courting trouble. I still can't remember who he is, but it seems he knows something important about me. I must talk to him before it's too late. She made her way through the crowded ballroom, then crept down the estate's long corridors until she found the cellar stairs. Oh, Mim, how about you save right before you talk with the better Hans? I will do. Thank you for reminding me. A dim, damp stone passageway led her to a long row of cells. They housed prisoners in the past, but nowadays they were used for wine barrels, cheese wheels, and other wonderful delicacies. The prisoner must be in one of them. But which one? Soon, a dim gaslight allowed her to see two figures at the end of the stone corridor. Guards. They might have some questions. I'll have to use my persuasion skills. Halt. Who's there? Oh, it's you, milady. Good evening. What brings you here on such a special occasion? I must see the prisoner. His words in the ballroom disturbed me, and I want him to explain himself. Very well, milady. He might be dangerous, so stay close to us, and don't come too close to the grate. Of course. Just saying, I'm going to just hide my webcam for a second so you guys can see him, if you didn't see him on the previous episodes. You can't tell me this guy is not a smash. Because this guy is 100% a hecking smash. Look at him. Just waiting for Chris to lose her shit again. Whew. Right. I've let you have your eye candy a bit too long. You're a brave one, Zelvina. Come in here, in spite of the warnings. Your relationship with Balthazar increased. You can check the status of each relationship in the sketchbook relationship. This is a work in progress feature. How do you know my name? Have we met? Before I answer your question, I ask you to answer one of mine. How do you feel about your husband? You can define Sylvina's relationship with her husband with your next choice. Okay, he's my number one now. He's so hot. I'm scared of him. Hans gives me the shivers. His behavior screams at me, don't trust him. Your relationship with Hans decreased. This is not how I imagined our relationship would be. I see. If you are satisfied with my answer, I'm still waiting for your answer to my question. Oh yes, your question. We met, but in another life. Well, I guess he's just crazy. But still, he feels familiar to me somehow. Really? And what were we doing in that previous life? Were we both nobles? Or maybe we were gods? Yes, exactly. Gods. You could call us that. He's definitely delusional. At least he doesn't seem aggressive, so let's see where this goes. And what were we doing as gods? Ruling mortals? Enjoying endless feasts and pleasure? No, not at all. We were hiding. He's definitely crazy. But why does it feel like there's a strange truth to his words? I'm sweating in spite of the chill stone walls. I just can't stop myself asking him for more. Hiding? From whom? He waved for Sylvia to come closer to the cell door. She was so intrigued that she leaned in without hesitation. From the black holes. A wave of agony flashed through her head. The black holes? Why does it sound so familiar? Did I see something like this in a dream? Clutching her head in pain, she stumbled away from the door and fell to her knees. Her vision dimmed. She was close to fainting. And where does this terrible fear come from? She closed her eyes in an attempt to calm down and reclaim control of her body. You filthy bastard, what have you done to my lady? I gave her a pinch of truth and nothing more. We'll show you the truth. Come here. She heard the sound of the cage door creaking open. And then ruthless blows landing on flesh, swearing from the guards, and muffled moans of pain. Can you walk, my lady? May I help you reach your bedroom? She opened her eyes and felt a little better. It's fine. I can go alone. Please don't worry. Are you sure? She didn't answer, but just pushed his hand away and walked briskly back to the cellar stairs. All the way to her bedroom, she tried her best to calm down. But even after reaching her sanctuary of safety and closing the door behind her, her hands were shaking. She took some pills in the hope of soothing her racing mind, and didn't bother to undress before collapsing onto the bed. I wonder, will Hans join me soon? Or will he work until beta day this time? She waited for him, counting her breaths and feeling her heartbeats finally slow. When she gave in to sleep, he had still not appeared. She opened her eyes and saw a ton of stars around her. She focused her sleepy sight and saw a human figure among them. So you eventually come to know more. I can sate you first, but first let's train you. So I'll reread this bit for anybody who wants me to reread this. If not, you can skip on ahead because I don't believe this has changed. As an artist, you perceive the world differently, deeper than others. You have a bright, associative imagination, so you imagine your emotions as paint colors. And before drawing, all paints must be placed on a palette. Are you listening, Sylvina? Yes, sure. Good. Joy represents with yellow color, anger with red, fear with purple, and sadness with blue. It is basic emotions which you will get throughout your journey. With them, you can change the outcome of dialogue options. Beware, you can change only dialogue options which are marked with an eye socket. But enough boring theory, let's have some fun. Ask me something by using emotions. Okay, right, we've already done that, so we're just going to skip it. Whatever you say, it's your choice. Anyway, you can come back and pass this dialogue later by using the load feature. He came closer and whispers in her ear. I hope you saved before this choice. Should I have saved? Shit! At that moment, her conversation partner transformed into something unexplainable and eldritch. What's going on? What is that thing? It looks like some sort of heart, maybe? Your relationship with Unknown increased. Sylvina can gain understanding of the true nature of the world and herself personally. This happens by building a relationship with the unknown. Suddenly, a far voice called her name. Milady Sylvina! Who is calling me? What's going on? Time to watch husband die for the third time today. Oh wait, was it just a dream? She was laid with eyes closed for quite some time, returning to the reality. Milady Sylvina! Milady Sylvina, your husband, Hans, is... That was a horrible beginning of better day. No one knew how or why, but Hans was dead. My maiden, Cassiopeia, our butler, Gilbert, and I tried to save Hans's life, but his wounds were fatal. The wounds were caused not by a man, but by a beast. I spoke to all the estate's residents, desperate for any clues. No one could explain to me how such a feral creature could break into such a well-guarded place. My dear Hans, you were always busy. Even in this painting, you're sitting with your papers, smiling not at me, but at your own faults. Your relationship with Hans decreased, but I'm no different from you, Hans. I, as an artist, painted this picture while posing for it after all. I wouldn't trust anyone else to paint us. You gain some sadness. Sylvina placed a hand on her husband's portrait. Don't worry, Hans. I'll find out what really happened to you. Suddenly, footsteps approached. Oh, Sylvina, couldn't you sleep either? I don't blame you. My heart still refuses to slow. But don't worry, that police officer will be here before long. I heard he's handsome. So, tell me, what are my chances? You can change Sylvina's dialogue options when an eye socket appears. So we can flirt with her or we can change the subject. Ooh, I don't know. Let's make her see reason. Let's try something different. Really, Cassiopeia, a commoner? Oh wait, we've done this already. Never mind, I forgot. It's not fitting for a lady in your position to associate with such people. Associate? Who says I have to be so serious? It'd only be for one night. You know the Globina family, Sylvina. This is just our nature. Yes, you are a Globina through and through. And not only in matters of the heart. Oh, stop flattering me. Anyway, you better get ready to meet your handsome detective. Wink. Cassiopeia Globina, my maiden. She is such an annoying person. She needs to grow up. I feel like I can't rely on her for important matters. Your relationship with Cassiopeia decreased. I hope she doesn't say something silly to the detective. Or worse, something that will get me in trouble. You gain some anger. God. See, I'm trying different dialogue options, guys. I'm branching out. Sylvina will gain emotions during her conversations with other characters. Someone knocked on the door. After a brief pause, the butler entered the room. He bowed respectfully before speaking. My Lady Nebula, Detective Shard has arrived. Please show him to the drawing room, Gilbert. At once, my lady. I won't distract you further then. I'm sure you'll appreciate some privacy. Besides, I must prepare my own plans for this evening. Alone with her thoughts at last, Sylvina left the bedroom. Narrow corridors led her through the house. She hated the long windowless corridors. There was something eerie about them. Finally, she reached the drawing room. Alright, Sylvina, get your thoughts together. You need this detective's help, even if he is a commoner. So tell him what he needs to know, and then we'll see what happens. Good afternoon, my Lady Nebula. Please accept my condolences for your terrible loss. Thank you. Detective Matthew Shaw is at your service, my lady. Sylvina held out her hand and Matthew kissed it. You may call me Matthew if you wish. She smiled at him. It was a smile she had cultivated over the years. And took a step back. Welcome to the Nebula estate, Matthew. Please, won't you take a seat? Indeed, he's handsome. Cassiopeia wasn't kidding. My Lady Nebula, I appreciate your hospitality. Let's get started. I have a few questions for you. Wait, is he suspecting me? Oh, my dear stars, I hired him for a different reason. Sylvina nodded silently with a polite smile. His interrogation continued until beta night. And my last question for today. Do you suspect anyone, my lady? Give him nothing more. How dare he suspect me? Show him my majesty. Or share his suspicion. Tell him about the prisoner. Share my sorrow. I'm gonna try sharing a suspicion. I'm curious. I believe the murderer is still here. I don't suspect anyone in particular, but I think it must be one of the residents of my estate. Really? And what makes you think that? Hans used to lock himself in his study from the inside, so that no one would disturb him. I used to knock on the door whenever I wanted to talk with him while he was lost in his papers. Not only out of respect, but because I simply don't have the keys. When we found his body, the door was open, but not broken. That is a very important detail, my Lady Nebula. I'll take that into account. Your relationship with Matthew increased. Well, thank you for your time. Now I must go and question the other residents of the estate. I wonder who actually did commit the murder. I'm actually genuinely curious. My Lady Nebula, I see you may have finished speaking with the detective. I must inform you he will be staying on the Nebula estate tonight. He apologizes for the inconvenience with all due respect. But he trusts you will understand why it is necessary. It will be too dangerous to travel back to town by the time he has finished with his interrogations. Who allowed him to stay? So, the detective is allowed to remain on the estate? I do not recall discussing such a permission with him. That is because the permission came in from your mother-in-law, Matrona Nebula. Should I remind you that Matrona is now the official head of the Nebula family? So, Matrona is the female head of a noble house. A noble woman may become a Matrona if her husband or son dies with no other heirs. Vivienne Nebula became such a Matrona after the sudden death of her son Hans. Vivienne, of course. She was always the head of this household, even when Hans was alive. And she has always disliked me. That is all I wanted to know, Gilbert. Thank you. Something in his stance made Sylvina wonder if Gilbert was hiding something behind his back. She glanced in the mirror to try and see what the butler was hiding. What could it be, I wonder? He noticed her searching gaze and took half a step away from the mirror. What is going on, Gilbert? Are you hiding something? Ah, my Lady Nebula, you have sharp eyes indeed. He moved aside and revealed a dog patiently sitting behind him. I found this puppy wandering the grounds. He looked so much like my old pet, John. Oh, John. I had not realized until now just how much I miss my old companion. You gained some sadness. I thought you might appreciate some extra moral support in such a trying time. Thank you, Gilbert. Oh, by the bright stars, how sweet he is. Not as quite as sweet as my little one, but I don't know where he's ran off to. Is he really just a puppy? He's so large. Despite his size, he is still a child at heart. I assure you of that, my lady. Sylvina nodded, satisfied with the answer. She looked at the puppy. I shall call you John too, in honor of my old companion. I would love to spend the rest of my evening playing with you. But there is still so much I must attend to. As a noble, Sylvina must plan her schedule for each day. As most of today is already past, she only needs to decide how to spend the evening. We are going to go and look at his diary. Because I want to read about the Ascension. I've made my decision. She looked at the puppy with a serious expression. From now on, your name is John, and you are part of my family. Please make yourself at home, but remember to behave yourself. But I must put Hans first tonight. I still haven't checked his diary for clues. Gilbert, please look after John. I'm afraid I will be busy this evening. Your relationship with John decreased. As you wish, my Lady Nebula. Did I upset my butler? I've never seen him so downcast. He is usually so calm that he can appear emotionless, like a soldier. Well, I should probably show more respect for his efforts, but that'll have to wait until tomorrow. Later that evening, Sylvina was sitting in her bedroom reading Hans's diary, while her chambermaid, Willow, helped her prepare for bed. She brushed Sylvina's hair in silence, her face expressionless. Sylvina didn't usually chat with her much. While Willow may be shy and timid, she is a good listener. Her skin is so pale that it appears almost blue, setting her apart from the other commoners. She may have experienced hard times before she began working at the Nebula estate. My father told me that every commoner has a physical flaw. It's usually something related to minerals. Gilbert, for example, has a gem where his left eye should be. Matthew has puppet-like figures, and they're blue. There must be something more significant than just a birth defect behind such things. However, commoners tend to avoid this topic, treating it as something sacrilegious. Perhaps I should ask Gilbert about it next time the opportunity arises. Anyway, I really must sleep soon, but I want to get through more of this diary. She turned the next few pages. As a true noble should, Hans was versatile. But I am surprised to learn that he was interested in mythicism. Now, what is this language? She stared at the page for a few seconds. Wait a minute, how did I know these words were about mythicism in the first place? She She tried to read fluently without recognizing the letters, and it worked. She could understand a language she had never seen before. But it didn't take long for exhaustion to set in. I won't be able to read all of this today, but I'll at least make a start. Which topic should I read about? We are going to read about the Ascension. Erie Nebula was the first ancestor from the Nebula family to ascend. To access the void, one must English! To access the void, one must to reject one's flesh, one's wealth, one's feelings. To ascend, one must also give up those one holds dear. Although to truly become ascended, one must bring a victim. Oh wait, there's a note in the common language on the corner of this page. Hans's handwriting. I must avoid that condition. I mustn't involve anyone but myself. This feels like an excuse. I can't trust these words. Anyway, I want to know more. The Ascended become the source of power for the family. So Ascension is the ritual in which a person's soul transitions to another dimension of existence, the astral world. This ritual involves the loss of one's physical body and associated sensations, as well as other sacrifices. Okay. Being above the sky in a deep, cold void. Ah, here are some of his notes. The term void in old texts usually refers to what is now known as the astral world, the place between a dream and the physical world. In fact, with the proper magnifying tools, one can see a distant one can see a distant reflection of the astral world in the night sky, because all of those shining shards in the sky aren't stars at all. Whoa, that's a lot of mythicism. Could that really be true? Your relationship with unknown increased. I wish I could ask him about it in person, but I definitely need to find out more. Perhaps I should think about asking someone. That's enough for today. I'll give it another try tomorrow. Sylvina was so engrossed in her reading that forgot about Willow, who was now finished with her hair. She closed the diary and turned to her chambermaid. That's enough reading, Willow. Now I must really sleep. Thank you for your care. You may go. It was no trouble, my lady. Good night. Good night, Willow. Once Willow had left the bedroom, Sylvina placed the diary on the bedside table. I must sleep now, to gain the energy I will need to continue uncovering the truth tomorrow. She put the diary down on the nightstand and fell into her bed. Ugh, that was a rough day. She hugged her pillow and tried to drift off to sleep. She glanced at their family portrait before closing her eyes. Hans, I swear I will find your murderer. That flash again. Exhausted, she quickly fell asleep. But in the dead of night, Sylvina opened her eyes to find herself floating in outer space. Stars surrounded her. In the distance, two black holes were spinning around each other. Where am I? Is this a dream? Yes, this must be a dream. It can't possibly be real. Welcome to my humble world, darling. That voice. Hans? How is this possible? You gained some fear. Dead? No, darling, that's where you're wrong. I prefer to call it changed, but that's not quite so accurate either. Okay, right. This is where we wanted to be. So I will be your master. I must run. Sadness is not going to change it. We have no joy, so ask about his ascension. You look so... Does this mean you've ascended? Is that what your diary was about? So you've been reading my diary. How interesting. Your relationship with Hans increased. I expected no less from you. By the way, do you like it, my new appearance? I think it suits me rather well, don't you? I really like how you look now. You finally shed your physical form. That's marvelous. I am thrilled with your new look. You gained some joy. I'm so happy to hear those words from you, my love. I stopped to listen. This unexpected reunion. How lucky I am. This godlike creature has visited me. They speak to me. And I will stay here with them. They are a part of me. Our minds are united. It's like dancing with Hans again. Together. Undivided forever. Sylvina felt no need to wake up. Oh fuck, we're dead again. She saw, she felt. This is what she had been dreaming of all this time. Death ending, reunited with Hans. Fuck! We probably should have said you look hideous. From the back. My god. Okay, so noted, we do not compliment the tentacles. Okay, so we got one demo ending and we've got 2 death endings. For one stream, that is not bad. I'm happy with that. So the question is, do you guys want me to continue streaming this, or do you want me to go off and record the other endings? Because trying to find the others might be a challenge. But I've been genuinely really enjoying playing this demo. I am going to definitely follow the studio behind this. So just to confirm, that's Not a Cat Studios. And I'm definitely going to try and make sure that I can keep up to date with this game. Because this is just such an interesting concept. As you wish, Mims. I'm happy with any. Well, thank you, but that does not help my indecisive ass. But, yeah. Well, at least I suppose it's a happy ending. But I don't know. Whew. Stretch. Thank you, Chris. Ugh. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the game generally, and if you have like any feedback for the developers or anything, just pop them in the comment section and I can like compile an email to send back to them for like feedback purposes, because I would love to be able to continue supporting this game. I love it.
Do you want some water?
Thank you.